Awake to my voice and hear the call within. Embrace the fear inside. Surrender your mind to mine again. Close your eyes, have faith in me, and leave the light behind. You're never alone. Whenever it's gone, let the shadows take hold. You're never alone. Let the poison in. Feel the warmth arise. Close your eyes, have faith in me, and leave the light behind. You're never alone. Whenever it's gone, let the shadows take hold. You're never soon you'll be set truly free from all those chains you bear.
Welcome back into Season 11, Week 8 of Premade Rampage. We've got ourselves a great matchup today between Team Flame sitting at 4-3 and Doomsday Red sitting at 5-2. My name is Bonfire. I'm here alongside Slayer. Slayer, how you doing today?
I'm super excited, Bonfire, because at this point, this match, this late into the season, we're basically getting a playoff matchup. I mean, both these teams are going to look at Team Flame, both and Doomsday Red are at spots where either of them could grab a postseason spot with so little games left. And I'm really excited to see how it all comes down tonight for the match.
Yeah, you touched on it. Both of these teams in the mix of it. Obviously, Team Flame just sitting outside of that playoff berth. If you don't know, it's the top three teams in each of their groups make it onto playoffs, and the number one seed in each of the groups get a bye. Team Flame sitting at fourth in the group, while Doomsday Red sit at second. Excuse me. So there's a bit of transparency. Both of these teams need this win. Uh, who do you think wants it more in both of these teams, Slayer?
It's really hard to say who wants it more, but right now, you got to love the underdog story coming up. I'm going to go with, say, Team Flame here, coming up from 4-3. They have a shot to take down a Titan that's only sitting on two losses, and tonight's the night to do it. So I think the team on outside of it is hungrier and wants it more.
It would be a fantastic matchup as we jump right into the draft already. A lot of top laners getting banned. You see the Mordekaiser, the Garen, Vayne. There's a lot of discussion on whether she's a top laner or not. She also gets banned alongside the Nico. Some AP, some AD already getting banned out as well. Any of these surprising to you?
Bonfire, I'm certainly surprised that we really haven't had any jungle targeted bans here yet. There are a lot of junglers right now that are very strong, and also jungle is just generally the most high variance lane in the game, which basically is a simple way to put it has the most impact in the game. If you have an OP champion in there that you don't want to see on the map, you know your jungler doesn't play, why not ban it out? And it looks like we're going to go into the first stage of picks here with no jungle bans. I haven't seen a Nico ban in a while either, Ari bans. I'm going to assume that maybe both teams have been doing their research and they're doing target bans based off of their opponents as the Trundle gets locked in here. Trundle, interesting pick. You can flex Trundle a lot of ways still. You could obviously take him top. Jungle's not as popular anymore for Trundle in my opinion, and some people even still like to take him support. So that is a good hyper flex pick in my mind for Team Flame as Zyra is hovered on the side of Doomsday Red. What do we think of the okay, Zyra locked in. What do you think of that, Bonfire? Zyra first pick on the side of Doomsday Red.
Yeah, Doomsday Red not looking to, counter back with another jungle pick of their own. They're just going to pick what I assume to be their support already. Of course, Zyra can also be played as a mid laner, but I haven't really seen that often. So the expectation is she'll be played support along with the Akali. Gives you a good mix of AP and AD from both of them. Obviously, they still need some AD on their side, but it's so early in the draft. Both of these teams still looking to kind of sniff out a strategy wise. So far, Doomsday Red picking for the early game with the support Zyra.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, technically Zyra can be flexed. You could send her mid. The Akali pick, though, as of now, I've ended up on our final Worlds patch. So this is the patch that we're going to be seeing for a while as professional League of Legends runs their Worlds tournament. And Akali got a base buff for some of her. She got a base buff before going into the Worlds patch to make her a little bit stronger. The early game makes her a little bit stronger in some of these matches, especially in the tournament we have. So I like that Akali pick. We see Pike locked on the other side, which makes me assume that Trundle will not be support. It's probably going to be top. I never really thought it was going to be a support pick there. But Pike actually technically could be a flex of their own, Bonfire, as you could technically send Pike mid. I've seen it happen at this elo a lot. So Team Flame opting on the side of looking to flex positions possibly, and who really knows what the makeup of their team could end up. Whereas Doomsday Red, we have a much better idea as we finish out the first stage of picks with a couple 80 carry picks. I like Jin and I like Xayah. These are both two very good 80 carry picks in my mind. Jin's a little bit stronger right now in the current meta, but both these champions can scale and absolutely take over fights.
Yeah, you talked about it. Both of these ADCs looking to get into the late game, especially Jin, but Xayah does quite well for herself when she pulls back the feathers. Can be quite deadly if you're caught in the storm of it late game. So I think both of these ADCs picked for the late game, the Rakan ban. They think Pyke's going to be going towards the mid lane as Doomsday Red throws out the Rakan ban, trying to make sure that the Xayah Rakan combo isn't there. But we talked a little bit about it. Pyke and Zyra, assuming they're both going to the support role, they're going to be high priority supports looking to get ahead early game, looking to get their ADCs in a good position for the late game. While Jin and Saya both pretty content with late games scaling. So I'm curious how that's going to turn out for the bot lane.
Yeah, and when you talk about these bans, the Rakan ban, that just shows you how much flexibility Team Flame has in this draft and how it's benefited them. I mean, Rakan ban coming out, you obviously maybe you made them think that Pyke is going mid the entire time he's going support. Pyke in general is such a great pick to me, not just because he can do damage on his own and take over fights, but his ability to roam as a support in the river due to his kit is just so great. I really hope Pyke can really take over games for an entire team, and I really hope no matter where Pyke goes, mid or support, they are roaming constantly on that pick.
Yeah, Doomsday Red think it's a Pike top or top Pike mid lane, excuse me, Morgana ban as well. So they do not believe that Team Flame is going to have a Pike support. Definitely curious. I haven't seen a Pike not in the support role really and on a big stage since G2 flexed in MSI back in 2019 against SKT. But who knows? New meta, new patch. Curious if Pike could be flexed around. We talk. Speaking of flexing, by the way, the Viego pickup for Doomsday Red. How do you feel about that one?
I love Viego. I can't believe Viego is a turn fourth pick on a team. To be honest with you, Bonfire. I mean, this is a guy that if I were a team and knowing jungle, unless my jungler did know Viego, which I assume most people know how to play Viego jungle at this point, I would be flexing as a variance pick early on. To snag him late in the on your fourth turn pick is great, and you could technically still flex that pick with two top, depending on how these two picks go, as we have Brand locked in for Team Flame, which just makes honestly this situation even murkier because to be honest, Bonfire, you could send Pyke or Brand mid or support, and
Yeah.
it could be a valid pick. So this last pick is gonna be really telling as we wait for it to come in here. But I really this pick will tell us the makeup of Team Flame, and then we can really start breaking down their team comp. They're certainly throwing me for a whirlwind. I'm sure they're throwing Doomsday Red for a whirlwind as well, as Irelia locks in. So that means we have Jungle Trundle, and we still won't know if it's Pyke mid or support. I'm gonna assume it's Brand mid and Pyke support, but interesting team comp. They do end up flexing Trundle to the jungle and Malphite. Wow, Malphite. What do you think about that counter pick there to Irelia, Bonfire?
Yeah, I think Malphite definitely puts Aurelia in a tough situation. She doesn't get as much kill pressure as she might want to get normally. You know, when you're in Aurelia, you want to be taking down your lane opponent. You want to be fighting quite often. And against a Malphite, he's pretty content with just farming up. So I'm curious if we're going to see this Aurelia from Team Flame roaming around. Obviously, Kazo, excuse me, likes to move around the map, likes to get other lanes, ahead. And so I'm curious if he can utilize that Aurelia to get around the map and he can push in waves while Malphite has to farm them under tower. If the Aurelia can be like a second jungler, pairing that with a Trundle can be incredibly deadly, and a Pyke. So I'm hoping Team Flame utilizes that ability to move around the map a lot more.
The Trundle pick also, we know everyone likes to talk about how much Trundle can change fights with his ultimate, taking them from those frontliners. It's going to be interesting to see how Trundle is used in situations, considering that most of these champions on the side of Doomsday Red aren't great ultimate targets. Yeah,
Yeah.
you really have Malphite, who I assume would be going into a more tanky style, considering you've got a Viego jungle and a Kali mid and a Zyra support. But outside of that, you gank those other lanes. Ulting an Akali, ulting one of these bottom laners isn't going to yield as much help towards a Trundle as it would be ulting the Malphite. Obviously, getting into fights will be interesting, but that's something to certainly watch. And then the roaming ability and the gank ability of Team Flame is something I'm really going to be watching. This team should be very active early compared to the side of Doomsday Red, who I would assume are going to sit back and wait for the hyper scaling ability of Jhin and Viego.
Yeah, I think you also talked about Trundle having the ability to take stats. I mean, you look at Viego, being able to steal stats from Viego when he's stealing bodies and moving around the map. If you can steal the stats, I think Trundle, honestly, not a bad counter pick against Viego, able to scrap with him a little bit. Trundle, obviously, a very good duelist when it comes down to it. This can be incredibly difficult for Doomsday Red to deal with, assuming the Viego gets stunted a little bit. A lot of their team play is through the Viego getting the resets, and then late game they can deal with the Jhin and the Akali going wild in the team fights. But if the Viego doesn't get ahead like they want him to, it can be very difficult. That being said, Team Flame very squishy other than the Trundle and the Aurelia. Zaya, Brand, Pike don't have a lot of base stats. So the Akali and the Zyra and the Jhin all feel pretty good about going against them. I think that Doomsday Red feels pretty happy, assuming that Team Flame doesn't, find their way into a mountain. So I think Doomsday Red feels pretty excited about getting that ability to have these assassins and high damage targets just pouring onto damage onto these very squishy targets.
Yeah, and when you talk about the team composition, another thing I want to highlight is the AD carry picks compared to their team composition. Zaya is certainly an AD carry that has some ability to dodge out damage with her ultimate. So on a comp where you're really not going to have that big of a front line, I mean, Trundle might be the only one really kiting back for Zaya. Irelia is going to be diving in. Brand maybe as well, but he's squishier on the squishier side. Pike, Irelia are going to be diving back, so you really don't have much of a front line. Having Zaya should be helpful for a playful zombie, but on the other side, Jhin into a comp where your tankiest champion Malphite most of the time will be ulting in to set up plays. Zyra can kite for you with her ultimate and her snare, but then you got a Kali and Viego jumping in the back. Jhin, it's going to be really key to watch how Edition plays Jhin, who really doesn't have that much escapability in his kit outside of maybe building Gale Force and Summoners, how he plays positioning in the fights, because if he gets jumped on by this Pike and Irelia, he does not have a lot of protection, and that
Yeah,
could mean he is useless in some of these
yeah.
fights.
I just got word it will be Kirkle on the Pike in the mid lane for Team Flame. So, do you think that changes anything from the side of Team Flame or Doomsday Red going towards the match? Do you think that they should focus on something differently than if it was a brand mid?
That's a good question. I think they really need to look out for the roaming of Pike, because mid lane is a lane, especially at this level, where the best thing to do is to honestly shove in your waves, let them crash tower, and get out and roam somewhere. And Pike is very good at roaming either way. Could go make plays, could get gold off of his ultimate while still giving his team gold. So you really have to watch out for his maneuverability. He can obviously roam from the support role, but you mostly expect him to be roaming mid occasionally. It's a lot more easy to track. Him as a mid laner, you really got to watch out for that.
Yeah, I think Pike moving around the map should be very difficult. We talked a lot about both of these teams needing this win. Do you think the draft for either of these teams is well, actually before I ask you that question, I want to talk about the APAD ratio on both of these teams. Obviously, if you look on the Team Flame, only having the brand as the only AP damage, excuse me, on their team might be difficult. It's a support brand as well, so the AP damage I could see Malphite being a really good frontliner for Doomsday Red. They have that inherent tankiness of his shielding. If he can just build the items that give him a lot of armor, I think that this Malphite might get a little bit out of control. On the other side of it, you've got the AP of Akali, the AP of Zyra. Malphite obviously has AP, and then you've got Jin and Viego filling up the AD, excuse me, for Doomsday Red. Any of these compositions, just from the side of AP or AD ratio, make you nervous?
I would certainly be. I think it's a good thing to point out that Brand is the only AP on the side of Team Flame. I will say though, Brand support is kind of like support in quotation marks, because once you hit sort of the later stages of mid game and late game, at that point he's building like he would build mid. If we're being realistic, he's still going to put out the damage similar to the damage that he would be putting out from the mid lane position, just slightly less. On the side for Doomsday Red though, and for for Team Flame though, I wouldn't be too worried about him being the only AP, as the front line for Doomsday Red isn't really that massive. You could see some of these champions build some, like, you're not going to see a Wit's End from Jin. Jin doesn't build Wit's End, so he's not going to be building anything that really prevents that AP damage. And then you switch over to the Malphite. Sure, he could build all armor. Viego could build some bruisery items, but a lot of these champions aren't going to really build that tanky, where the mostly AD side of Team Flame is going to make too much of a difference, in my opinion. Bonfire.
We've talked this draft to death. We've talked about both of these teams to death. All at this point we can do is get into the game. Do not go anywhere. We've got a fantastic best of 3 series between Team Flame at 4-3, Doomsday Red at 5-2. This is going to be one that you do not want to miss after this quick break. Welcome back to week 8 of the Rampage season 11. We've got ourselves a great game between Team Flame on the blue side and Doomsday Red on the red side. Should be a fantastic match. Slayer, are you as excited as I am?
I'm certainly excited. A lot of interesting picks here. Team Flame with some interesting flexing options in the draft that I'm really curious to see how they play out, especially this Pike mid, as we see a little bit of early trading going on for aggressive Viego. A lot of information being traded, a little bit of taunting, a little bit of fun as we jump into this game one. But as you can see early on, Team Flame did get a ward onto Viego's red buff, so they will have some information on their side. Only ward that Doomsday Red could get down onto the other side, the blue side of the map, is they have a ward kind of near the right side mid brush. But it'll be interesting to see how Team Flame plays around the little bit of information they know as we wait for Viego's pathing.
Yep, Viego obviously Adam pathing downwards to up, and Kirkle and Bandwaha pathing upwards to down, getting the top leash while the Viego gets the bottom leash. So they shouldn't really face each other early in the game. They should kind of go by with dissonance, not really fighting each other. But obviously, you never know as we see Kirkle getting some early trading down onto
Ooh.
Meowth.
There's the power of Hail of Blades Pike right there. You can get autos out very, very quickly, and very big win trade there for Kirkle early on here. Getting to ward Viego's red could mean that Trundle could decide to go for the red steal here after Gromp if he wanted. I think that depends on the prio from his top laner right now. His mid laner certainly is going to have prio from a health-wise standpoint over Akali, but I really should also have prio as we see a couple trading goods. Snare landed there, excuse me, from Zyra on the bottom lane, but nothing much happening right now. Most teams just simple trades and farming up.
The Chromian able to land a W onto Addition as Meowdam dodges the Q from Kirkle. Kirkle hops into the Shroud. Meowdam looking for a trade. Just a lot of farming going on right now. If you look onto the top side, Orkazo roaming down, trying to find something. Bandwaha down in the mid lane as well. Meowdam has to be careful. He's going to get stunned up, gets out, and gets stunned. Nowhere to go. Orkazo able to pick that one up. Addition has to be careful. Placeable zombie. Gets fourth shot. He's able to flash away. No kill taken there from the side of Doomsday Red. Single kill for Team Flame.
What a beautiful team play there on the side of Team Flame. Perfectly placed pillar there from Bandwaha. Sets up Kirkle to snatch the Akali back in, and Orkazo lines up the stun perfectly. There's nothing Akali could do. Honestly, burn flash. As we see the exhaust come out from Brand, maybe a little too early. Addition looking for the play on Jhin, the famous crit shot.
Playful zombie gets rooted up, nowhere to go. Addition is able to snag himself that kill, even with the failed flash. However, Kirkle has to be careful. Doesn't realize Viego is there. He is able to get away as Addition backs on a ward. He does know his Blue Eyes Wingspan is able to get that down.
Yeah, that was the coveted Jhin W kill. You don't see that very often, but they do trade it over. A lot of trade. That lane is going to be tons and tons of trading constantly. Zyra plants, Zyra snares. Brand could just push out so much damage of his own, and Jhin obviously with the crit shot and his range ability can do a lot of damage as well.
Kazo has to be careful. Adam able to go in. Or Kazo going back in for more damage. He doesn't have the damage or the survivability. Goes down. Meowdam trying to get on top of it. Kirkle misuses it. Flashes. Is he able to get the last kill in? No. Meowdam is going to get out of that. And that's a failed flash from Kirkle. And it costs him a kill on Meowdam. As Orkazo falls to PNB. Kirkle has to be careful. Blue Eyes Wingspan is there. But he's able to get out without dying himself.
Wow, a lot of action there quickly. I really gets taken down on the top side. Kirkle, that was so hard to watch. The flash forward to the short Q is too short. Then, sorry, not flash Q. The Q kill off is too short on the Akali, then flashes and cancels 2 autos on Pike and lets Meowdam get away. Tragic, painful to watch. On the top side, we didn't get to see much of that gank from Doomsday Red, but they're responding very well to some of the early pressure from the side of Team Flame, and we'll see how much it pays off. Right now, it's giving them a slight gold lead.
Yeah, and this Zyra pick has proven really well. She's got herself an assist, obviously set up that kill on a playful zombie earlier in the game, and she made Kirkle have to be careful. A lot of damage, though, coming in from a Chromian. You talked about him being a support in the sense of he plays the role, but not in terms of the damage that he does as Ocrazo. Has to be careful. Adam and PNB there right now. Looks like he's just going to take the blast cone to get out, and there's going to be no follow-up from Adam or PNB.
Yeah, when you talk about a Chromium, that brand, this is Dark Harvest brand, who already has 3 stacks to his name, so it's certainly going to be helpful when we get later into the game and as he continues to build the more AP style support brand we've seen so often.
Yep, and he needs to get ahead because we talked about it a little bit. He is the only AP damage on the side of Team Flame. If this Malphite isn't going to run buck wild and just tank all of the damage from Team Flame, you need to make sure that this brand is a problem in these team fights so far, setting himself up really well with those Dark Harvest stacks. As Addition able to dodge the W, they're pretty low. Blue Ice Wings man has to be careful, falls to below 50, I say 50%, below even that.
That was the crit.
Chromian might have to be careful. Excuse me. Sorry about that. He falls really low as well.
That's the power of the crit Jin. That's why Jin is so popular nowadays. The crit, the ability to DPS, but along top of that, the just pure range he has allows you to outpoke some of the hardest comps in the bot lane. And that's just an example you saw there. Almost picked up the kill.
Okay, so looking to go into some trading against PNB. PNB says, you know what? I'm a rock. I don't really care. Kirkle goes for something. Meow, damn. Gonna attack Kirkle. Feels pretty comfortable trading with Kirkle at this point. And this early game, Pike, excuse me, isn't really getting the what Team Flame hoped it would.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward now that Kirkle has hit 6. He starts shoving these waves in and roaming. Obviously, that trade, he felt a lot more comfortable with the level advantage on Meow Dam, but opted for the short Q again that didn't flip Akali in, as we see. Wow.
Yeah, Bandwahar just gets absolutely destroyed right there. Didn't realize that Blue Ice Wingspan was there alongside it, and the damage from Blue Ice Wingspan and Adam is, it's pretty noticeable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we didn't even get time to, like, you didn't get time to talk about that. That was so quick. And, you know, it's funny, we talk about this brand in the AP he puts out from the,
Be careful, Chromium might be caught out, but Adam might be caught out as well. Both of them fall. That's a jungler for a support. Is there more to be found? Kirkle gets tagged up. Blue Ice Wing Swing looking to do something. Gets hooked by Kirkle. Kirkle going in on Blue Ice Wing Swing. He's going to fall. That's a 1 for nothing. Kirkle also falls for a mid laner for support. Playful zombie here by himself. Meow Dam going in for Bandwaha. Gets knocked up by Malphite. That's a death. Addition going to die as well. Meow Dam is he able to trade. Gets Bandwaha as hell. And that is a 4 for 2 on the side of Doomsday Red. And they pick themselves up a massive team fight.
Addition just plays the Jin so well, staying so far back, poking out with W, using his ult at a great time. There was just so much going on there. On the backside, you saw Meow Dam flanking around to catch off Bandwaha on the Trundle, a fight that she should win handedly. A triple kill over to Addition. He is massive right now, 4-0-1. It'll be interesting to see what he gets on this back after getting that triple kill, a straight up Gale Force purchase. So this Jin gonna have some ability with the dash, some ability to dash in and execute some champions, execute, and to get away from some of the CC on the side of Team Flame. Certainly gonna be watching Addition for the rest of the game. See how he plays these fights, because like I talked about in Champion Select, Jin can get ahead and be very fed, but with the comp around him, he's not going to have a ton of protection. He's going to have to play fights really careful with the dive ability of the Aurelia and the Pike on top of him.
Yeah, you talked about Gale Force being an offensive ability, can also be a defensive item as well. Gives him the ability to dash away from an Aurelia stun or a Bandwaha possible pillar. So definitely gives himself a little bit more survivability as Blue Ice Wing Spring picks up a little bit of poke. But that Zyra's doing a lot of damage as there's a fight in the top side. Adam feels comfortable just going in on top of them. Orkazo building up enough time. He survives long enough, and PNB certainly to fall as well. Falls to Kirkle, donates the gold, and that's going to be a double kill from the side of Team Flame.
Yeah, I mean, there's some trading going on the bot.
There's the
Third
Jin
call.
all Chromian. Gonna have to flash that and heals away. Gets hit a second time, and the force shot doesn't find it. Blocked by Playful Zombie. Hit get by
Oh!
the W. Will he die? Yes, he does. There's that Gale Force. Does it get traded out? No, it doesn't. That's a 1-for-0 in the dot side as we got more fighting. Kirkle and Meowdam feel like just trading off some damage. Why not? Screw it. We don't want to hear Slayer talk. It's all about the play-by-play.
Oh my gosh, so much going on there. You saw the double flash from a Playful Zombie and a Chromian. Playful Zombie healed Brand just enough to save him from the Jhin curtain call, but then gets caught with the snare and the classic outplay button flash. Gale Force hits Xayah under the tower and picks up another kill for addition. Lots of trading going on in the bot lane there, but we also had a top lane fight where you saw the recipe to beat Viego. You got to jump on top of Viego, and you can't allow him a reset, as we see some more trouble for Brawlhalla in his own jungle.
Bandwaha has to be careful. Blue Ice Wingspan is just dominating this Trundle. Adam and Blue Ice Wingspan are saying, no, you cannot play this video game. Bandwaha just gets killed by them again for the second time as PNB goes in on Arkazo, and it's just going to be looked to be a trade.
Oh!
Meowdam looking to go under the tower. Can't find the execute, and he's certain to fall. Is he, though? Kirkle. Yes, he is. Doesn't fail his flash that time. And he's able to pick up Meowdam on a bit of an overstep.
Kirkle with the preemptive. Oh!
Adam,
Kirkle.
is he going to be able to trade it out? It doesn't seem. Maybe he is. Kirkle just barely surviving with basically no health, and Adam isn't able to trade that one out.
Kirkle almost signed his own death ward there, pulling Viego. I understand you'd love to go for the outplays to get a little more dirt damage on him, but that's a Viego with a short range. You can't be giving him the ability to Q you down there. Regardless, does outplay the Akali there on the turret dive. The preemptive barrier before flashing in for the auto to make sure he would not get popped. Very smart there. And when we talk about game script, Bandwaha just having a rough last 4 minutes. You get caught out round Dragon Pit by the Zyra and the level 6 Viego. You get popped. Then you're trying to come through your own jungle to help your team out in a fight. Oh, as we have another fight bringing out bot.
Oh, that's that Jhin damage. 6-0 on the game so far. We're not even 12 minutes in. As he's going to look for an ultimate. Just looking to land the shots on a Playful Zombie. There's the fourth shot. Is that enough damage? Blue Wingspan has to be careful. Doesn't have the minions. Adam looking to possibly follow it up. There he is. There's the ultimate. Gets the execute. Bandwaha, you are in the wrong side of the map, my friend. Has to be careful. As Adam wasn't able to root him in. Bandwaha able to walk out of that one there. Right now is Kirkle. He's going to find himself roaming down. It's a party in the bot lane. Adam, can he find something else? It looks like Doomsday Red feels comfortable just taking the one kill from that, but they have to be careful. Adam,
it keeps
might
going
read over the Krugs. He's able to get out. That's that Viego mobility. That's that Viego tank ability. Kirkle gets the execute. Can he proc Hail of Blades? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Maybe he is. There's the execute. A double execute gets the shutdown on top of Adam, and that's just overstaying from Doomsday Red.
100% bit off a lot more than they could shoot there. You get some kills, you get some more plating. Just back off. You know they're going to bring reinforcements in. And Kirkle stepping up huge for his team. The real only player out here that we've seen perform at a high level so far. Willing his team back into the game. He's giving them a gold lead.
Yeah, we talked. I mistakenly said that the Pyke didn't have the early game to help that Team Flame hoped it wouldn't. It definitely has. 5-1-1 on the game. Not even taking that much of a CS disadvantage to the Akali, who's been basically stuck in the mid lane this whole time. Has bolstered his team to a 1,500 gold difference at 14 minutes. But I'll tell you what, their bot lane has to be careful as Blue Ice Wingspan comes in from the jungle. Kirkle looking to extend his gold lead on Meowdam, isn't able to. The Shroud really helping out Meowdam with his survivability.
And I want to actually apologize for a second, because I said that Kirkle was the only player on this team playing high impact for Team Flame. I was wrong. I am sorry, Orkazo. You have been playing very well in the top lane. You look at that CS advantage. He's got a 50 CS advantage over this Malphite, 131 to 86. Has a bounty. Well, he just lost the bounty, but he had a bounty on a 1-1 scoreline. That means you're farming masterfully. Listen, top lane is usually the island, all about wave management, and that's really what Orkazo has been doing well, along with that Rift Herald fight we saw earlier.
Yeah, you talked about Arcazo looking to get some damage. As we go into the bot lane, Chromian able
Another
to
curtain
tank up
call.
quite a bit. Have to be careful. Adam's looking for for a dive, possibly. Gets the stun, just misses it out, but that is going to be more than enough
Oh,
damage. Playful Zombie able to go down. Everyone survives. It's a 2-0 for the side of Doomsday Red.
yeah, so funnily enough, addition there, killing off the brand without auto-attacking. Just once again, Gale forcing forward, does enough damage. Then funnily enough, went for the execute onto a Playful Zombie and crit shot the tower. It didn't matter though, the grenade did enough damage to take the kill over as they also go ahead and grab first tower. Orcazo does trade off towers in the top lane on his own, establishing the lane dominance that he has had over this Malphite in the top lane.
Yeah, 150 CS at 15 minutes and 38 seconds, just under 10 CS a minute, doing really well for himself as Adam and Addition feel comfortable enough doing this dragon, but it's going to be a smite fight, able to steal it away. Bandwahal, great pillar right there, but Addition able to flash away. Bandwahal going to trade his life for it. Kirkle, do they have the numbers? Meowdam goes in on Kirkle. Chromian has to be careful. He's caught out, flashes to get away, but there's not enough flashes in the world to get away from that. It's going to be a 3-0, and the dragon and possibly Playful Zombie gets rooted up as well. Addition looking to go in, a Playful Zombie trying to get away from it,
Oh
but that's
my
going to be
gosh.
a 4-0, and the dragon, and that is going to be a gold switch for the lead, excuse me. Doomsday Red snagging themselves the lead and the 2-dragon advantage.
Yeah, I mean, that was just the two mythic boys blowing up the entire enemy team. You've got this Viego has his Divine Summoner and that Gale Force we keep going back to from Addition on his Jhin. You watch Kirkle try to get into the middle of them to DPS down quickly, but just got blown up before he could do anything and gave over the shutdown and basically through the fight, as he was really their only DPS on this team right now outside of this Irelia, who's obviously been relegated to the top side. And this game is starting to slip out of hand for Team Flame. Gold lead isn't too bad yet, but they're losing some objectives and they're gonna have to find a way to get back into it.
There's the double root. Chromian just gets popped.
Oh my gosh.
Way too weak. However, look out for Okazo. Gets rooted up. Another fantastic Jhin root, but the damage is going in. Look at Addition just doing so much damage on the backline, and that is going to be a team ace for the side of Doomsday Red. This Jhin is 13-0-5. He's massive.
Listen, Bonfire, I don't think I've watched Addition miss a W yet this game. I don't think he's missed a W yet on Jhin. Snaring people up, getting kills, playing these fights so masterfully, playing off the backside of them, just shredding whoever's in front of him on a not frontline heavy team in Team Flame. Key play you saw there during that fight, you saw Kirkle get in and get a Pike ult kill, got the reset, went for it on top of Adam, but Adam timed the transition. Sorry, just got interrupted.
Chromian just walks up too far.
Walked up too far. Malphite press R. Jhin takes care of the rest. But to get back to that point, Adam, key play goes into the possession right as Pike tried to ult him and dodges the damage from that point on. Kirkle doesn't have a reset, doesn't have any abilities up, gets absolutely blown up by Addition, who they continue to not be able to get to. And the game is just continuing to spiral out of control as we got almost a 4K gold lead, uber fed Jhin and an uber fed Viego, who will only get worse as the game goes on.
Playful Zombie has to be careful. Meowdam looking to trade this one out for a kill, gets rooted up by a Playful Zombie, and just feels comfortable dashing away. It's going to be an ult for an ult, but a Playful Zombie's ult means a lot more than Meowdam's ult does at this point in the game.
100%. I mean, Xayah, her real only escapability right now, especially going with the shield bow, and we'll get to that in a second as we see Meowdam.
Might be caught out, gets slowed up, able to E away, flashes away as well to get away from both Chromian and Kirkle looking to roam up on him. And it's just a lot of resources wasted on the bot side for a pretty healthy escape from Akali.
Yeah, Chromium with a solid Q, predicted Q there to force the flash out, but a flash is just not going to cut it when you're this far behind in the game. But to get back to the point, a Playful Zombie obviously building up towards that Immortal Shield Bow, which means the real only escapability on the side of this Xayah is going to be your Summoners and your Flash and your ult. So having to blow your ult in the side lane against an Akali is key if we see any fights break out in these next couple minutes or so.
Yeah, it's just been a tale of the bot lane. 13-0-6 Jhin and 0-7-2 Xayah. Xayah doesn't even have an item yet. He's got boots. He's got a noon quiver, vamp scepter. Certainly got some stuff, but then you look at Jin and you're like, oh, you have Gale Force, you have a collector and boots as well, along with the pickaxe and a BF sword. Yeah, you're pretty far ahead of me.
Yeah, pretty far. In addition, just stays perfect, a perfect build set in my opinion. With a team comp like this, the real only tanky-ish member you might see, as we see another
Chromian.
W from Addition, sniping out and leading to a kill. But you build that collector with this squishy of a team.
Oh, watch out for Adam. Finds the snap. Doesn't know everyone's there, though. He's going to have to flash away. There's Blue Eye Wingspan. Gets a knock up on a Playful Zombie. That's going to be a kill onto a Playful Zombie. Kirkle not able to find the hook onto Adam. It's going to be a 2-for-0. The bot side of Team Flame once again letting them down, dying before the dragon even spawns.
Yeah, we have been talking a lot about this Viego and Addition's Jin, but Blue Ice Wingspan has been fantastic on this Zyra, just pushing out some serious DPS with her plants, snaring people and setting up her teammates nicely. 2, 3, and 12 with a bounty of her own. Absolutely masterful. This team, Doomsday Red, is looking like the first place, or I guess tied for first place, but still first place is nonetheless team in their group, and they're starting out strong in game 1.
Romian has to be careful. He's playing so far up.
Look at that damage. I mean, 1 W from Zyra as we have another fight breaking out.
There's PNB's all Arcazo. There's a fantastic dodge from Addition. They're all focusing Addition, though. He has to be careful. Is he able to survive? Dodges Kirkle's all, dies finally, but it costs him the entire team Playful Zombie. No chance they're able to survive this, and they're not even going to trade it out. Meow, damn, it's going to be a 1-for-5, even though the 700 gold shutdown is going to go down from Addition. I think that Doomsday Red feels pretty good about that trade.
Addition is just smurfing this game at this point. He's toying with his food. Gale Force is out of the way, and Irelia trying to make a last-ditch effort to get him. Sidesteps the Pike ult, which would have given Kirkle a lot more damage to output onto his own team. He does end up dying, but dodging 2 key ultimates masterfully with his Gale Force and the limited kit he has. This guy can't do any wrong. I mean, 1 death, sure, it happens when you have 5 people running at you, but to dodge that many abilities, set your team up with an inhibitor, this guy could do no wrong, Bonfire.
Yeah. He's got nearly half of his team's kills, but the thing is, that's only half the kills. If you look at Adam, 9 and 3, you look at the Zyra, 2, 3, and 15. All of the, he's not the only hope that Doomsday Red has to win this game. It feels like just such an uphill battle for Team Flame. I know I say this every time we cast together, and for this game, it seems like it's going to be difficult, but how does Team Flame win this game?
I honestly don't know how they can win this game, Bonfire. They really just have to start getting aggressive and try to pick off some of these champions in the side lanes. You have a Trundle, you have a Pike, you have an Irelia. That's some serious mobility. You have to start picking off some of these champions and get some of your team's guys rolling here. Maybe the Irelia played right, can seriously take over fights, but there's not much to do, Bonfire. This game could be over in a jiffy.
Yeah, all it really takes is one good team fight, someone getting picked off. I will say, Chromian, and although he's been popped 8 times this game, and it feels like he's got the health of a small Krug, he's doing his best. As Kirkle, he's just going to fall immediately. That damage, Bandwaha and a Chromian looking to set something up onto Addition, but he just pops, and there's another W. Bandwaha, you said it yourself, can do no wrong. Chromian is going to fall as well. And this surely is going to be either the Baron, or if they feel like it, they can market it down mid and win the game, I'm sure.
I mean, Purely could just turn onto the Baron right now and start it up and then run right down mid. Death timers are still a little low as we see Orcazo trying to get some gold back.
Snutbuff has to be careful as he's able to just ult away, and they're just going to feel happy enough with getting the Baron. Obviously, can be difficult, only 1 wave pushed in, which is the mid lane, so they didn't feel confident enough with the death timers to go to end the game. But that's just 3 for nothing in what feels like the easiest thing in the world. I will say, Orcazo teleporting in might look to possibly pick off someone. He has to be careful, though. The teleport's coming in from PNB. And
there's some low health bars here, though.
Just able to dodge away as PNB teleports in. Arcazo, the damage coming in feels like little slaps on his face. Doesn't feel like in much danger at all.
Yeah, there was some low health bars there. I appreciate the aggressiveness. Orkezo understands that they need to be aggressive to get back in this game and start swinging the gold, because if they just sit back, you're only letting these juggernaut carries in additions Jin and Adams Viego scale up more and more, but nothing seems to be working. Kirkle, I appreciate in the top lane trying to catch out that Jin going, throwing everything at the wall, but a Jin with 3 items can just 3-shot a Pike going
Yeah.
full lethality. There's nothing you can do about it.
We talked about the low health bars on the side of Team Flame at the beginning of the game. Half the team is just going to get one shot by Jin at this point. So an incredibly dangerous situation. It's you want to get onto Jin, you want to do damage to him, but once he turns purple and starts waving his gun around like a madman, you start to get nervous about what kind of damage is coming your way.
Yeah, and with all this attention on
Yeah, oh damn,
Jin, oh,
going in on a Chromian. Doesn't have the damage immediately though, and he's just gonna fall. It's a 1 for nothing. As Addition is able to pick up a double kill for himself, just as an ADC. Unbelievable. As Adam's gonna go in on Bandwall. Bandwall has to be careful. Adam does a lot of damage. The ultimate, the slow from Bandwall. Be able to flash away from the post-nut buff damage. Playful Zombie ults to get away, heals himself. There's the one shot from Addition, and that's going to be 4 members dead on the side of Team Flame. There's minions in the base of Team Flame. This feels like it's done and dusted as they push up on the bottom turret.
Addition is just the knight in shining armor for this team. Even when some of his teammates makes mistakes, he doubles any kill up that Team Flame can muster. Baron empowered minions. Still got Playful Zombie dead for 10 seconds. Bandwaha gone as well.
Chromian
This
able
should
to
be the
fall.
game.
Chromian falls incredibly quickly. Kirkle just walking around, seeing what his base looks like one last time. Kirkle, that's going to be the last time you're ever able to do that this game. Watch out for Jin shots. Those are going to do a lot of damage. I will say, post-nut buff kind of low as they get the stun onto Adam. Adam has some survivability. The hearth bars aren't there. Adam falls. Post-nut buff,
That was
it
a gold
looks like he's
shutdown.
going to fall as well too. Addition, he's going to be the only one there. He's got to be careful. There's the execute. Blue Wingsman might fall too. The ultimate gets people low, but he doesn't have the damage. Flashes away from Kirkle's ultimate. Looking to play around her plants. Kirkle trying to get on top of her. The health bars aren't there. Now that Meow Dam's here, has to be careful. Doesn't get the Eons where, excuse me, Vanderhaw looking to go in. Meow Dam, there's the kill for a Chromian. And I don't know if they can end right now just with an Akali. And that was a great tower defense. I thought it was done and dusted. And Team Flame says, no, we've still got it in us. Kirkle going to get onto Meow Dam. Meow Dam flashes away, but she has no hope in the world to survive. And that's an ace for the side of Team Flame as Doomsday Red weren't able to kill the Nexus right there.
And we already are seeing pings out to Soul Point Mountain Drag that is up on the map. Both teams racing over. Orkezo clearing out wards. But yeah, Bonfire, that fight, the reason why Team Flame got that ace was just because Doomsday Red just had split ideas on what they should be doing. You had your Fed Jin hitting minions, hitting the tower on the other side. You had post-nut buff off to the side, low health, and you're just split off, and you can jump 5 members onto him. They pick up 1 kill, and they just roll like a train. It was a bunch of smaller, outnumbered fights for Doomsday Red that allowed for Team Flame to pick up the ace. A lot of big shutdowns, but regardless, they do pick up the... Sorry, Doomsday Red, excuse me, does pick up the Mountain Drake as Team Flame still too busy clearing out minions. Pike could not get anything done with the impending doom as... Oh,
Is that a one shot? The ultimate expended from a Playful Zombie gets her away from there, but wow, that's quite a bit of damage.
Oh,
Orkezo has to be careful. There's the ultimate for PNB. Look towards PNB. Orkezo looking to go in onto the Jin. Addition does fall. Bedwall falls as well. You do not have the damage. Jin might fall, but you can see the Nexus falling next. Urkel, can he get the reset? Finds one.
Ooh.
Couldn't find two. Adam able to possess the bodies, and you can kiss your face behind. Excuse me. You can kiss your base goodbye, Team Flame. The flame in your name stands for your base coming up in flames. Game 1 goes to the side of Doomsday Red.
wow. What a game 1 from Doomsday Red. Starting it off in dominant fashion. Addition playing so well. Couple of positional issues that we saw also comp-wise, but 22-3 and 11, absolutely masterful. Adam on this Viego, 4th pick, Viego 12, 4, and 14. Almost I believe that's I'm not the best with math. That's over half kill participation for the Viego. Absolutely masterful. They came out and punched Team Flame in the mouth. There were a couple of moments you saw Team Flame might have been able to get back into this game, but in reality, it was just all Doomsday red for game one.
Yeah, Doomsday Red certainly putting their name Doomsday in the hearts of Team Flame. What an absolute game from you talked about. I mean, we sing the praise of Addition the entire game, but when you have 22 kills and 11 assists to your name and only 3 deaths, yeah, that's gonna do it. Doomsday Red snags themselves the first game. Team Flame has to go into this game too with thinking that, this is it. They have to go into this game because it's a best of three, not a best of five, obviously. What do you think Team Flame has to do in order to get themselves the win in game two?
I think they have to come out in early game and have a better idea of how they're gonna play the map, because you saw Doomsday Red came out and said we're gonna focus on bot lane and getting Addition rolling. You saw Adam moving down towards the bot side, a lot of dives going on to that tower. I feel like we watched Addition Gale Force kill off that Zaya at least 4 times that game, just getting him giga fed where it didn't matter what Team Flame is doing. They need to play less reactionary and pick a part of the map that they want to dominate and stick to it.
Yeah, you talked about Bandwaha on the Trundle wasn't able to do what he wanted to do. Before Jin had the mobility with the Gale Force, he wasn't able to punish his immobility early in the game. And when you've got a Jin that was what 5-0 at how many minutes, it certainly feels like it's something it's a given that you're going to lose the game at some point if he continues to get ahead. Which, I mean, he did.
He certainly got ahead and made some plays too. I mean, it's one thing to get fed early, your team can help you out and give you some kills, get you some gold, but especially when it's talking about 80 carry, it all comes down to how you play fights and positioning. And Addition just continued to be spectacular. We saw him Gale Force dodge out Irelia ults, and then you saw him sidestep some Pike ults. He was hitting crucial W's to set up his teammates to get kills. Addition just all over the map, played masterfully, and earned his team a victory in game one.
I'll tell you what, you do not want to go anywhere this series looking like it's just getting started. Team Flame and Doomsday Red, I almost forgot the name of the winning team, going off in game two of best of three. Doomsday Red has the lead 1-0 right now. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to week 8. We've got ourselves a fantastic matchup. Obviously, Doomsday Red able to take the first game against Team Flame. Jin got incredibly far ahead. If you missed it, it was a fantastic game where Addition just got unbelievably far ahead along with Adam on the Viego Slayer. We're into game 2. We talked about what needs to change from the side of Team Flame. What does Doomsday Red have to keep doing to ensure they continue to stomp like they did in game 1?
I mean, barring some serious target bans from the side of Team Flame, why not keep rolling with Addition? I mean, it's certainly one thing to get your AD carry ahead and see how they play, but Addition played all phases of this game masterfully, in my opinion. If you can get the Jin again, why not roll it again? I'm sure there's another AD carry he can make impact on. Doomsday Red, keep playing towards this bot side, and I'm sure I will not be talking about your match very much longer.
Yeah, Doomsday Red able to snag themselves the first game in the series. We go into game 2. A lot of the same target bands: Garen, Mordekaiser, Vayne, Nico. It's the same band 1, 2, 3, and 4 that we had in the first game.
Interesting to see that it's the same bands from the side of Team Flame. You'd think that, back against the wall, this is match point. You would try to fire out some more specific bands to game 1. I'm just going to assume that these are still even more comfortable champions for some of these Doomsday Red players, and they want to keep targeting them. I guess I'm assuming they think they can beat the comp they played last game, except for the Zyra, though. Ban out the
Yeah,
Zyra for the last turn pick.
yeah.
Turn ban.
Flame. Obviously, we talked about how much difficulty a zombie and a chromium had against the Jin. Maybe they felt more comfortable against the Jin, but it was obvious they didn't feel comfortable at all against the Zyra. You see Zyra getting banned out. A lot of AP banned out from both sides with the Nico, the Mordekaiser, the Zyra, and some AD as well with the Vayne, the Caitlyn, the Garen. J4 going to be the first pick for Doomsday Red.
Doomsday Red locking in a jungle first pick here. J4 has a massive CC kit, can also be a massive frontliner, big playmaker. Takes a little bit of time to get going, in my opinion, compared to some of these other earlier junglers. That's why he's not really that big in the meta. But if a game gets long enough, he gets enough items behind him, he can make some serious noise in team fights. And we have the Ezreal pick. It finally happened, Bonfire. I get to cast my favorite champion. I had to plug it. I certainly am very excited to watch anybody play Ezreal, but this game we'll be watching as a playful zombie tries to rebound from game 1 on Ezreal. Ezreal champion with some serious escapability, some serious mobility. Once they get rolling, got a couple items under him, Ezreal can jump all over the map, fire out Qs quicker, honestly, than his auto attacks. Super scaly champion, but hard to play early, so it'll be interesting to watch that bottom lane matchup as it progresses in banning and bans.
Yeah. Yeah, and you see Warwick picked up also from the side of Team Flame. Team Flame obviously trying to do something differently. So far, of the 4 picks we had, 0 were in the previous game. Both these teams said, you know what, last game wasn't what we enjoyed doing. Even Doomsday Red, after they won that game incredibly handily, they want to try some new stuff out. The Kaisa, the Jarvan, they're hovering Leona. Obviously, I'm a fan of the Leona Jarvan. You put someone in a box and then you stun them, and they're basically in what is, I assume, damage hell. So Kaisa looking to move around the map a bit as well, and the Morgana picked up from a Team Flame from both of these drafts. What are you liking so far?
I'm liking the CC heavy team fight Doomsday Red is building here, and the ability for Kaisa, if played correctly, can seriously jump on top of people in those ults. They might get all confused, be focusing too much on trying to escape the Cataclysm, escape the Solar Flare, the CC from Leona, and by the time you're trying to get away from all that, you've got a Kaisa who R'd right next to you, blowing you up. Certainly a great comp so far, in my opinion. The Morgana obviously is a great way to get some early game pressure. A lot of CC on her side. She also can peel very well. So a good counter pick, in my opinion, the Leona with the Morgana for Team Flame.
Yeah, Team Flame looking to have that AP. Obviously, last time they gave all of the AP duty to a Chromian. Looks like this game so far, they're following that up. You see the Rumble and the Ahri ban for them. Doomsday Red looking to ban the Aurelia and the Pike. They did not like going against those champions from Team Flame, even though they found themselves with the win. But obviously, we talked about how Kirkle and Orkazo in that game looked like they were doing massive amounts of work for Team Flame. So Doomsday Red looking to target ban them.
Orkazo certainly had a big lead in top lane before coming out of the early game, and Kirkle had a lot of gold streaming through his pike, made some great plays in the mid game as well. Two smart bans with top and mid definitely left up there. Flame decides to go with more of a front line with the Dr. Mundo. I like that pick, building up a front line for an Ezreal. And Doomsday Red continues the CC train front line. Big bruiser boy. I love Ornn. He could set up even more of this CC. There's so many setup combinations for this Doomsday Red team fight. It is going to be very scary for Team Flame.
Yeah, and I think you add the Dr. Mundo, that's some good AP damage as well. You look towards the top lane matchup. Orkazo wanted to win top lane incredibly hard for Team Flame in the first game. This game, he said, you know what, we can handshake, just beating each other to a pulp, and neither of us feeling much damage. So both these teams feel like the top lane's gonna be a handshake. Diana picked. Probably going to be in the mid lane. I don't imagine. Obviously, you see a lot of Diana in the jungle, but looking at the rest of their comp, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be J4 in the mid lane. So Diana in the jungle, Jarvan in the excuse me, Diana in the mid lane, Jarvan in the jungle. Good APAD split as Silas is being hovered for Team Flame, as he is going to be picked. Team Flame picking up Silas for the last pick of the draft.
I do like that last pick from Kirkle here on Team Flame. That's some extra AP on the side of Team Flame, which they struggled with last game. And Silas has a plethora of beautiful ults to steal on the side of Doomsday Red. You could seriously sit down and argue that every one of the ults he could steal on the side of Doomsday Red is good. The only one I think you could sort of argue isn't the most useful would be Kaisa, but picking up a Cataclysm, a Solar Flare, picking up Ornn ultimate, Diana ultimate, all these ultimates could really turn a lot of fights. So I loved that pick. Kirkle performed pretty well in game one, despite the script of the game just ran into the brick wall that was Addition. I'm excited to watch him play on Silas and see if he can perform to the same T as he did on that pike.
Yeah, you talk about his pike. He's moving on to a similar type of champion in the sense of you want to get on top of people and hammer away at them. Silas obviously has a much different kit, but the idea is the same. I think Kirkle definitely has that ability to get on top of people. He's laning against the Diana. You favor I think I would favor Silas in a 1v1 against Diana, being able to steal her ult, being able to get on top of her. She has to, throw her crescent moon in a moon circle. If he's on top of her, she isn't very happy. So the mid lane, Team Flame looking to draft Kirkle, a very happy champion. Do you like the pick of Team Flame, giving Arcazo a bruiserish style champion in Dr. Mundo?
I think Dr. Mundo in his current patch has some trouble getting going, but once he gets some items under him and he gets to these late game, mid game fights, he can be unkillable. It is seriously hard to kill him. Everyone likes to talk about Tom Kench these last couple patches, how unkillable he can get. Mundo has surpassed him in my opinion with his ability to just slow down champions. The healing is insane. The ability to mitigate some of that CC with his new passive. He could just be a brick wall that nobody can really hit through. And I think it was a very good pick. It's interesting to see with their comp because you had the Morgana pick respond to some of the heavy CC you see on Doomsday Red. The Warwick can be used in an appealing way. This game is really going to come down to, in my opinion, Bonfire, this game is really going to come down to, can a playful zombie DPS out the front line of Doomsday Red? Because I envision both these teams, I envision Team Flame having to play front to back, and Doomsday Red is really just going to try to jump onto that Ezreal. I think it's going to come down to, can they pop the Ezreal, or can the Ezreal kite back and help this team play front to back the correct way to pick up a decisive game 2 win?
Yep, Team Flame obviously drafted towards the Ezreal, giving him a Dr. Mundo to stand in front of him and a Morgana to give him the Black Shield. So Ezreal definitely a bit safer than the Xayah than the Xayah was in the first game, where it kind of felt like the Xayah was left out to dry. Had a lot of moments where a Thresh or a Morgana even could have helped save the Xayah from some of the dives that they threw bot lane. The Team Flame opting to give their ADC a bit more protection this game. Meanwhile, on the side of Doomsday Red, they continue with what has felt like get on top of you and hammer away at you city, like they had the last game. Different champs, but it's the same idea. They've got a good AP/AD split with Diana and Ornn on the AP, Kaisa and Jarvan on the AD, Leona just able to lock people down between the two support champions, Leona and Morgana. who do you feel is going to have more of an impact in the early game for the bot lane?
I think the variance really comes down to the Morgana play because Morgana against the Leona can play very reactionary with that Black Shield and catch out the Leona in situations that she chains forward, doesn't get a stun on the Ezreal. The Ezreal can E back out and they could DPS the Leona down. So I think you're really going to have to watch how Morgana, how Acromium plays on this Morgana in some of those fights in the bot lane. But Leona, if she gets a solar flare down CC chain, post 6, Kai'Sa can jump as far forward as the Leona does. And Kai'Sa's burst ability, especially if we're seeing Hail of Blades, Kai'Sa can absolutely blow up anybody in that bot lane.
Yeah, and I think Diana and Jarvan, the issue with Diana and Jarvan is we touched a little bit on it. Jarvan puts a wall around it. Diana wants to go in and ult, and maybe that wall can be a deterrent to her because right now, because then she'd be in the middle of everyone just kind of taking damage. So curious if the side of Doomsday Red is going to shoot themselves in the foot a little bit. That being said, addition on the Kai'Sa, I love that for the side of Doomsday Red personally. You put him on a carry style and Jin, he gives you 33 kill or 33 kill KA. And then you put him on a Kai'Sa who has similar ability to just decimate the early and the mid game. Just a really fantastic pick on the side of Doomsday Red, in my opinion, to pick their carry edition, someone like that.
I will say though, I think that is a good shout, Bonfire, but not to play devil's advocate here, but I am going to play devil's advocate here. Kai'Sa's playstyle versus Jin's playstyle is honestly night and day. We saw Addition play use Jin's distance ability to get out damage from far away very well. Kai'Sa is the complete opposite. Kai'Sa needs to be on top of people and DPSing from a close proximity. Not saying the Addition can't play a completely different play style. I'm not gonna throw that out there, but you have to at least mention the fact that they are differentiating play style. And one quick thing that I want to get into, by the way, Bonfire, I will freak out if Doomsday Red does not get the proper heal cut against this Team Flame. You are playing against a Warwick, a Dr. Mundo, and a Silas. I better see heal cut coming in early, or this could get out of hand if Team Flame is even ahead come into the mid and late game.
Well, you don't want to miss what is sure to be a fantastic game to stick around. Welcome back into Team Flame versus Doomsday Red. Doomsday Red sitting on the blue side, and you've got Team Flame sitting on the red side. We've got ourselves a fantastic series in this one. Should be really good as both teams looking to pick up the win in a very critical series, and should be a good one.
Yeah, it certainly should be a good one. Last game, we saw a lot of champions set up to do a lot of early game movement. I would expect less of that come this game, too. We've got a lot of champions that are perfectly content in sitting back and farming their way into the mid and late game. I think the spot you might see the most action is you might see some Silas roams, some Diana roams, J4. Post 6 might get active, but until then, it's going to be a lot of farming. Mundo Orn, except for some TP plays from Ornn, I really think it's just going to be a farm lane. And Ezreal, not in a great position early game to do a lot of things except farm it out. So we could be in for a different style game come game 2 Bonfire, but who even knows in this series?
Yeah, Adam gonna be starting on the top side, not even getting a leash, gonna be taking it himself. Vanduha on the bottom side, taking it by himself. We've got ourselves a good early game as we are going to go to a quick break as it seems we're having some technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Welcome back. Sorry about that quick delay. We've had a bit of technical difficulties here at Risen Esports. Riot likes to mess with our stream, it seems. All jokes, but so far, Meowdam going against Kirkle, finding himself in a bit of a deficit in the health department.
100%. The ability of Silas to win trades with his W healing back has certainly given Kirkle an advantage. It'll be interesting to see how he plays the wave here as see if he can deny some farm. Probably should just crash the wave and look for maybe a cheeky back or an early roam. We see Mundo or Keizo's also crashing his wave, which was expected against the Ornn. On the side of the bottom lane here, we might have missed it, but
And Blue Wingspan has to play a bit careful. Playful Zombie, there's the gank from Adam. Playful Zombie doesn't look like he's going to be able to get out. Yes, he is with the E heal combo. And the gank from Adam isn't able to find him anything. And it took a lot of health to do that.
yeah, certainly almost got them first blood on Blue Icewing Span, but the flash out and the heal from Addition saved him. Then, very smart use of the E from a Playful Zombie. Didn't burn it early, waited until J4 was on top of him, and he would have a good lane to exit there. Got the heal off, will stay fine. Bottom lane, though, like I said, would have the most action early, and we did see J4 come off his pathing early to get a gank over there as well.
Yep, Vanduha able to snag himself the top crab. Obviously, we talked about J4. Adam able to snag himself the bottom crab, as it's just more trading. Playful Zombie has to be careful going against Leona with that little health and mana. Obviously, burned his flash and heal. Doesn't really have the mana to have an E, so he has to play carefully as Vanduha might be looking to do something bot lane. He's in the tri-bush right now.
Yep, Ezreal, early game Ezreal, just too little mana and health as well with the wave perfectly frozen. Oh,
Vanduha might be going in on Blue Icewing Span, and that's just going to be first blood right there. Flashes away to ensure his safety, and it's going to be first blood for the side of Team Flame.
Man, I did. Bravo to Bandwaha. I did not expect him to be able to do a play with Israel being forced back with the state of the wave, but just runs right in, knows there's no heal from Addition. There is no flash on the side of Blue Ice Wingspan except for Hex Flash. Runs in with that early game Warwick damage and picks up the kill thanks to Press the Attack flashing out. Beautiful response. Last game, Bandwaha, we saw get caught up a lot in jungle, in his own jungle and the river on that Trundle, giving himself an early lead in game one, looking to bounce back.
There's the ult instantly from Meowdam. He also ignites, but Kirkle is able to just walk out of that one, and it's going to be a lot expended from Meowdam to get basically a back from Kirkle. Does get the flash from Kirkle right there, though.
Just like with Leona, wherever thy throw thy chain, thy will be going. Same with Silas here. Ends up going into a bad place. Luckily for him, Meowdam did not have enough mana to go much further than the ult. Was hoping the ignite would get the kill. Alas, both players are forced back due to low mana and health. Low mana and low health. As we see a good black shield there from the Morgana. That's what we're looking for. That's what I was talking about earlier. If Morgana can set up these black shields correctly for the Ezreal, it can really catch out this Leona. As we see Adam trying to get some pressure into Bandwaha's jungle, gets spotted out, Pink Ward, and has to leave. A lot of interesting action, but like I said, that Morgana, it's all about the variance with those black shields.
Yeah, you're using words like thy and alas. What century are you from again, Slayer?
I don't know. I'm an old-timey League of Legends player. I've read the old scriptures. I understand the old ways of this game, and I'm just spreading my knowledge out to everybody watching this fantastic series on Risen Esports.
Is this the Slayer lore we've been waiting for this whole time?
The Slayer lore. Well, I'm sure there's somebody that'd like to hear about it, but right now all I'm going to be talking about is the game we have in front of us.
Yeah, while we were making the jokes, Team Flame able to snag themselves the Dragon Arcazo. Obviously, roamed down to help out with that. Uses teleport to get himself the wave. Very smart pathing right there. Knew that he was Ornn doesn't have the ability to push up that quickly, so is able to help them get the dragon and utilize his teleport instead of just doing it from base. Utilize it from the drag pit, and without mana, feel pretty comfortable doing that. As Blue Ice Wingspan moving up a little bit close. There's the Black Shield again, but the miss of the Acromion. That being said, a lot of damage from Kaisa. Acromion takes up quite a bit of damage, less than 50% health right now. Has to pop a pot.
And you're starting to see Blue Ice Wingspan is starting to try to...
There's the root. Blue Ice Wingspan has to be careful. Incredibly low. Is able to fall to that addition. Might fall as well. Utilizes ult to get away. Bandwaha is going to be on top of him. PNB looking at the ult. There's going to the mid lane. Adam and back to the pot lane. The knockup from PNB. So much going on in the map. Post nut buff might be pushed up too far. Bandwaha and Acromion looking to get on top of him. He's able to slow them. Gets rooted on top of it. But he's able to land his W. Flashes onto Acromion. Acromion has to be careful. What a Zynius from Acromion. Does Bandwaha have the damage? Yes, he does. Pops the Ornn. So much going on. If you missed it right there, Diana and Jarvan linked up to get the kill onto Silas. Total seemed like it was a 3 for 2, but with so much going on, I'm not even sure what the heck just happened.
Yeah, that will go down as actually a 3 for 2. Good response from Doomsday Red in the mid lane, catching out Silas. Can't dash through that Cataclysm. Benoit.
Damn. Not able to land his flash to get away, and he's just going to get popped. Really fantastic ultimate from Bandwaha there, and is able to get Meowdam's ignite. So Meowdam burning both summoners, not able to get away, and it's going to be a kill on the side of Bandwaha, who is now 3-0 on Warwick.
Ooh, Meowdam commits the cardinal sin. You pick up a kill with J4 on your mid laner. All you got to do is crash that tower and reset. I know how enticing turret plating can be, but if you stay too long, you will get caught out. Bandwaha punishes her for that. A lot of fighting early in the bot lane, like I saw. Good TP from Ornn. A playful zombie decided to sell out to trade the Kaisa out to the Ornn. Traded out the kill to the Ornn by trading out Kaisa. Sits on 1-1-1. But when you look at the CS numbers right now, Bonfire, my gosh, is this Doomsday Red bot lane just killing it in the CS department. You've got Kaisa on 74 CS, a playful zombie stuck on 40. Great wave management from Addition, as we saw earlier, forced that Ezreal back, was able to freeze up that lane and then crash the turret. And that's why you're seeing these fights in bottom lane are going to be a lot more even than you're thinking if you're looking at score. It's just because you've got a 30 CS advantage in the bot lane. They like to say 16 CS is about the same gold as a kill. So if you add that up, you look at the CS of this Kai'Sa, you could argue she might be ahead of this Ezreal, if not just basically even.
Yep, Meowdam looking for a possible gank. Doesn't know that she's on a ward, or they're on a ward, excuse me. Blue Ice Wing Spang able to ward it. They don't know that that bush is warded, though, so if there's any regank opportunities onto a playful zombie, it probably will not work, as it's just going to be farming. If you look towards the top jungle, Adam might be pushed up too far. A lot of nameplates in that top river, excuse me, over by where the... Oh, can't even talk about that right now. Addition and Blue Ice Wing Swing going immediately in. Acromian able to stun them both up. Can he get the ult? Yes, he can. A playful zombie is going to get the kill. Blue Ice Wing Swing doesn't look like you have the damage. Is there the damage onto Blue Ice Wing Swing? Yes, there is. And he's going to go down. It's going to be a 2-for-0. And a playful zombie, even with the possible CS disadvantage, is able to find themselves the 2-for-0 on the bot side.
Certainly be able to farm back up and get back in with those numbers by killing off the bottom line there. But like I said in the champion select, this lane is going to come down to how can Chromium play on this Morgana. And boy, was that just a masterful fight there from this Morgana. Black shields the Ezreal after the chain to block the Q stun from Leona. And immediately after popping Black Shield, waits for the Kai'Sa ult on top, hits R, gets an ult on both of them, able to DPS down the Kai'Sa thanks to the stun from Morgana, and at that point, Leona can't do anything but watch and attempt to kill off the Ezreal. Ezreal hit some good abilities there, hit his R, a playful zombie hit his R, landed some good Qs, but that fight honestly came down so much.
Got ourselves a skirmish. Urkel Meowdam gets on top of that. What a fight that was. Both of them getting down incredibly low, but Meowdam able to kill Kirkle. Was a battle of the Diana ults. And I guess Diana fares a bit better with her native ult as she's able to kill Kirkle in a 1v1. Solo
yeah,
kill
and
for
that
Diana.
ignite helps you out when you have against the Sylas. What I'm talking about, you need to get heal cut if you're the side of Doomsday Red, but Ignite is inherently heal cut, able to stave off the healing from that late W from Kirkle just enough for Diana to pick up a solo kill, keeping the gold even. Doomsday Red not out of this despite some bot lane troubles.
Yeah, and I think that Team Flame has found themselves with a 500 gold CS difference. Bandwaha looked to go for the dragon, wasn't able to get it. And Adam, this might be the fight they're looking for. There's the ultimate.
Arcane Shift.
Adam, and it's going to be Arcane Shift, not enough. And it's going to be a 2-for-0 and the dragon for the side of Doomsday Red. And it's disaster if you're a Team Flame fan.
Yep, I will say though, Team Flame fans on the other side, you have that Mundo get the top first turret with Rift Herald, absolutely abusing the Ornn in this matchup so far. And then you just saw the redemption kill for the side of Team Flame, picking off the Leona who stuck around in the Dragon Pit. As we have another fight breaking out, TP coming in.
Yeah, there's the TP from the top side. Kazo looking to slow Adam. Adam getting slowed down. He's going to get damage from a playful zombie. That's 1-for-0. Orkazo trying to go down more. He's got to be careful. Addition pushing out a lot of damage. But there's the ultimate expended. And it's going to be a 1-for-0 from the teleport from Orkazo. Getting them some gold back in the pockets. Giving them back to 1,500 gold lead for the side of Team Flame.
Yeah, that's the power of Mundo. Can soak up so much damage. Doesn't have any top lane priorities. Can use his TP aggressively. Here comes Ornn
coming in from the backside. It looks like it's just going to be a pop from Acromian. There's Meowdam going in aggressively. Orkazo has to be careful, taking up a lot of the damage. Kirkle going in. Here's the healing. Lots of healing down. There's the damage. They do not have the damage on the side of Doomsday Red. Meowdam, is he going to be taken up? Orkazo slows him. Looks like Bandwaha might be trying to loop back around. They don't have the minions for it. There's the Arcane Shift, gets him incredibly low. Addition has to be careful. Bandwaha can't find it with no minions, but the re-engage might be there. There's the damage. Adam, Bandwaha fighting against each other, fleeing. Adam looking to get out of there, and it's going to be a winning fight for Team Flame.
That was a great Ornn ult from the side of Post Nut Buff, grabbing a Chromion. They blew him up instantly, but then what a play from Bandwaha, running down to the fight, flashes in and times his fear perfectly, fears 3 members on the side of Doomsday Red and gets them the fight win there.
Yeah, Bandwaha and Adam trying to, or excuse me, Adam and Blue Wingspan trying to get what's left of the jungle that they can as Addition comes back in the lane, able to win that fight for them. It's 11-7 in kills. Both teams have a dragon, but the CS difference is going firmly to the side of Team Flame. 3,000 CS difference at 15 minutes and a 4-1-4 Ezreal. Much different performance from Game 1. A Playful Zombie with a bit of a redemption performance in this one.
Playful Zombie looks a lot more comfortable on this Ezreal. A lot of his arcane shifts and look like what you would see from a seasoned Ezreal player. Already has Divine Summoner, as we might see a catch here.
Oh, Kirkle has to be careful. Trying to get on top of Addition. Gets slowed down. Both of them get stunned up. Kirkle isn't able to find the damage, and that's going to be a kill for Addition. A big shutdown as well. 150,000 gold to the side of Doomsday Red.
Both these AD carries playing very well. Both of them now have bounties. We saw Addition got killed off a couple times, mainly because of the outplay ability from Chromium on this Morgana in the 2v2s. Still CSing very well. Now has a bounty, helped get a couple picks. These AD carries are what you're going to need to watch when we get to these fights, because they're going to be handling out some serious DPS. But to get back to a Playful Zombie, Ezreal, once he hits Divine Summoner, seriously pushes out some serious damage. Already about 220 stacks on that tier, does rush the man immune as well. Will be interesting to see once he gets there, because that's another power spike. And this Ezreal really doesn't stop spiking all game, Bonfire.
Yeah, both of these teams, both bot lanes, excuse me, going towards the mid lane, want to give their ADCs a proper chance to CS with the bot turret being down. Adam looking to possibly steal away, has to be careful as there's the numbers. Okay, so might cash Adam out, but he's just able to get out with his EQ combo, and it's going to be nothing found for the side of Team Flame.
Yep, we're moving into the mid game here. A lot of bunching up towards the middle lane, funnily enough. But for the side of Team Flame, they're much more comfortable doing it because the side lanes here, they have towers down, so the waves are going to always crash in their favor. Should be pressuring this Rift Herald, should give them priority for a Rift Herald, and they'll be able to make some moves towards mid lane to pick up some more gold on the side of objectives.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of gold to still be had. You obviously talked about the objectives. Both teams also split in dragons. I know it's a 2,500 gold difference for the side of Team Flame. Oh, Blue Ice Wingspan has to be careful. Gets rooted up, but it doesn't look like Team Flame wants to do anything with it. I was just going to say that this game is still very much on either team can do something. It really all depends on the engage. Both of these teams choosing to go with what seems like team fighting, team comps, especially with PMB. Gets rooted up, has to be careful as they're just battling for mid control.
Now, we have been talking about how well Team Flame has played early on, giving them a gold lead here, but do not forget the team fight ability from this Doomsday Red composition could be killer.
Oh, Blue Ice Wingspan misses his ultimate, gets kicked down to maybe 25% of his health, maybe even a fifth of his health, and he's incredibly low for this upcoming drag fight. Both teams battling for position here. Bandwaha puts down the Rift Herald, trying to get a charge off of on that, as it just looks like Doomsday Red want to clear these waves. There's the ultimate. Adam trying to go down on Playful Zombie. He's able to find a Playful Zombie. Is going to fall incredibly early in the fight. Is that going to be enough? Meow down, able to find a Chromium. Or Konzo going incredibly low. Kirkle also incredibly low, but both teams aren't able to do anything, and it's just going to be that pick on the bot lane of Team Flame, the bot lane of Team Flame going down. That's going to give Doomsday Red the team fight, and arguably, or not arguably, probably going to give them the dragon as well.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Doomsday Red's team fight ability, even without Leona ult, as we see the Mundo trying to make some impact here.
Urkel getting incredibly low. He is able to survive with the littlest bit of health. Blue Ice Wingspan going against Bandwaha, trying to find a kill. Bandwaha has to be careful. He's in a wave of nobody, but the health bars aren't there for the side. There's the Arcane Shift. Aren't there from the side of Doomsday Red. And they're content with the dragon, bringing this to only a 1,000 gold difference.
Like I was saying before we got interrupted by Mundo doing Mundo things, this Doomsday Red comp can get to your backline without hesitation. They didn't even need the Leona Solar Flare. J4 Cataclysm sets up the Ornn ult. Ezreal already had burned his E, his ability to teleport around the map here, gets caught in the Cataclysm. Flash was not up yet. J4 gets the 700 gold on the shutdown. This is what I was talking about. Ezreal needs a front line in front of him to protect him, but if this team on Doomsday Red can keep jumping on him and blowing him up, there's not much on the side of Team Flame DPS wise, they can win the fights. I know Benoit is ahead, but Warwick's damage will continue to fall off as the side of Doomsday Red gets tankier and tankier. It's all about this Ezreal. If he gets picked off like that, this game could turn fast.
Yeah, I will say the Kirkle is doing pretty well for himself. 109 CS. He's got himself the Everfrost, so I do think Kirkle can be there for the side of damage as well. But it is going to be incredibly important that they make sure that both of these teams are incredibly tanky.
Yep, 100%. This game is a lot about tankiness. I'm sure both teams were hoping once they got the second dragon to see Mountain Soul, because that would really change the course of some of these late game fights. Oof. Blunder flash.
Flashes into the root from Morgana. As again, we've got ourselves a bit of an NA ram. Both teams just jockeying for the mid lane prio. As both teams have brought 5 players to the mid lane as the side lanes just push by themselves.
Yep, 100% there. A couple blunders. Adam trying to flash in to make a play there.
Playful Zombie
Gets
has to
snared.
be
Oh,
careful. It's going to get trapped up. Immediately falls. Kirkle's going to fall too. That's all the damage for the side of Team Flame. Akramian trying to do what he can, but he can't do enough. And that's going to be a 3-0 for the side of Doomsday Red. They find the kills. It's time to go Baron.
mid game, late game, you can be, no matter how ahead you are in the early game, it's all about decision making. And Team Flame crumbling here. Their carries walking around in fog of war where they shouldn't be in such a close-knit game. And with this team fight, this CC combo on the side of Doomsday Red, boy, can they punish you in a blink of an eye. And now it's going to lead to a Baron power play we got here. Baron
Mahal was looking for the possible steal, wasn't able to find it. There might be a re-engage here. Or Kazo and Bayonwa able to walk out there, but it's going to be a pretty healthy Baron. That's 5 wearing purple on the side of Doomsday Red.
Playful Zombie continues to get caught out here on this Ezreal. He has the serious escapability with his Arcane Shift, but nothing can prevent you from walking into a J4 Diana and Leona. There's nothing that's really going to stop you from getting blown up there with AD carry the way it is. And this game is starting to slip over. The Baron power play yields the side of Doomsday Red some gold. We'll see what Tower's able to get. All towers up on the side of Team Flame. A lot of gold they can grab on the map with this Baron. We'll see how they decide to split the team up to grab some of these outer towers.
Yeah, you talked about Team Flame able to grab a lot of sitting gold. There's still all the outer towers able to get gold for. I will say, if you look onto the side of Doomsday Red, they haven't grabbed themselves a single tower yet, and they're still ahead almost 2,000. As again, Akramian getting caught out, has to be careful as they get hopped upon. Black shields to possibly stay safe, but I don't know if there's enough black shields in the world to protect that against that kind of damage. Gets caught out trying to clear wards, and that's going to be free gold sitting for the side of Doomsday Red.
Yeah, I mean, listen, these Team Flame needs to sort of take a breather and work on some of these issues. They're getting caught out in places they shouldn't be. I understand the need to get vision as a support player, but you had no pry on any lanes and no knowledge of where anybody was on the map except Diana topside, and you paid the price.
Blue Wing Iceman has to be careful. There's the ultimate from Adam. Adam able to CC. Bandwaha able to get on top of them. No one's dead yet. There's the Arcane Shift. Not able to find anyone. Bandwaha in the middle of everything. Getting incredibly low. He isn't going to fall, though. Blue Iceman going to be the first of all. Post up buff in the middle of everyone. He's going to be falling next. Playful Zombie isn't able to be traded out, and it's a 2-0 for the side of Team Flame. Not how we expected to go at the beginning of that fight.
Yeah, it's really hard. They didn't have a lot of damage there. Diana split pushing top. Kaisa not in a position to jump on anybody. They peeled correctly for the Ezreal there, and that's exactly what you expect. Mundo able to soak up a lot of that damage. Morgana able to Black Shield, protect Ezreal, and the damage he can put out is immaculate. Grabs a double kill, gets Team Flame back a bit into this game. They grab a dragon, even up the score, but still with a nearly 4,000 gold difference with that Diana getting 2 towers on the top side. Interesting to see what will go on. It's really the tale of how can Team Flame peel for this Ezreal for their fights, and on the side of Doomsday Red, can they continually get to this backline and knock down the damage for Team Flame?
Yeah, you talked about that. I will say that Jarvan having a bit of difficulty. He's 4-1 and 6, but he's having a bit of difficulty locking up a playful zombie. You're gonna have to have Blue Ice Wing Span and the Jarvan and Adam going in at the same time, because if you do not stun that Ezreal when he's in the forever box of Jarvan's ultimate, he's just gonna Arcane Shift out, get himself into a safer position.
100%. You need to watch heavily for that arcane shift. It really makes a difference. Might have flash as well, but if you can wait on
Adam
that,
looking to go on to Kirkle. Kirkle gets popped by a Addition. Adam and Addition looking like an incredibly strong duo. There's the ultimate. Acromian isn't able to dash away like Playful Zombie is. The Playful Zombie's going to get locked in by Meowdam. That's going to be 3 for nothing, as an incredibly quick Doomsday Red just gets on top of 3 members in consecutive order, and they're able to snag themselves 3 consecutive kills.
yeah, we talk a lot about a playful zombie. Now he has to play Ezreal, but like I said earlier as well with the Kaisa, her kit allows her to get on top of people with any CC present in a jiffy, and with a J4, an Ornn, a Leona, there's so much CC dealt out that can allow for a Kaisa ult, and Kaisa can just blow people up, and that's exactly what we saw from Addition, set up to fight well. Addition 5-2 and 5. Haven't talked a lot about him, but I talked about how he needs to play a lot differently Kaisa compared to Jhin, and he shut me right up with his scoreline and his CS so far, looking to close out the series for Doomsday Red.
Doomsday Red playing this one incredibly well. If you're just joining in, they've come back from what was a 3,000 gold difference for the side of Team Flame. Team Flame has so far choked it away a little bit. Now they're down, find themselves down 5,000 gold. And it's been from the stellar play of, you talked about Addition, you talk about Meowdam, you talk about Adam setting people up with his Jarvan ultimates. And I just don't think anyone on Doomsday Red has done something incredibly wrong. I will say Blue Ice Wing Span has hopped maybe a little bit too far sometimes, but the CC that he's putting out is more than made up for it.
100% is made up for it a lot here. This game has been very back and forth. Interesting to see. I want to talk about some of the builds we're seeing out here in the game so far. The Ezreal, interesting to see if we're going to
Have to stop you there real quick as Kirkle just gets blown up. Meowdam,
where did he go?
So much damage.
I look down at some of these builds, and the next thing I know, we have a dead Silas. I mean, that's the power of Diana. Get him rolling. 7-1 and 2 Diana. Not talking enough about Meowdam either. Has had some great ultimates following up this J4, and it's paying off with some of the items she has. And boy, can she blow people up in a hurry. But to get back to some of these builds we talked about before any fighting breaks out again, I've talked about Doomsday Red needs to build some serious heal cut, and it seems they have listened to me here. We've got a Thormail on both J4.
Bandwaha might be caught out. He's got a lot of survivability, but that's not nearly enough as Addition blows him up. Adam and Addition combining like bread and butter.
Adam and Addition are playing so well together. Leona lands a solar flare. You can't black shield everything if you time it right. Locks down the Warwick, and the heal cut helps out there too. Like I said, Thormail on top of Ornn and J4. Leona looking to get a catch.
And Blue Ice Wing Span getting down incredibly
Baron
far.
secured.
The CC was more than enough to get themselves away. Obviously, the Leona getting very tanky at this point, building Sunfire, has the heal cut, has the plated, able to just feel comfortable going in, not really worrying about her own life, and the Baron is secured for Doomsday Red.
That's the life of a Leona late game. Just stall for Baron, but to get back quickly, try to get out this point here. Thormail on both your jungler and top laner, a Morellonomicon on the side of Diana, and you have a piece of a Thormail on for Leona for grievous wounds here. That's the heal cut you needed to limit the ability of Warwick to get health back, a Silas in the 1v1s for that Diana, and a Mundo to heal back up as well. Might be partly why they're winning some of these fights, Bonfire.
Yep, Dragon in 5 seconds. Both teams looking to contest this. Both teams at 2. Blue Ice Wing Span gets caught out. Might fall really quickly. There's the Ornn ultimate trying to get Blue Ice Wing Span away. Knocks up 2. There goes Bandwaha. Able to survive a little bit longer. Addition going in. Playful Zombie has to be careful. Isn't able to survive at all. Kaisa is so big. Addition does fall eventually, but it's only a Chromian and Orkanzo. And they're going to be able to watch the Dragon fall. Even possibly their base. Orkanzo able to get out on top of it, but it's a 4-for-1. Addition went monsterly big on that one, and he's able to find themselves the winning team fight.
Wow, addition. What a great ult timing there. Everybody's so focused on this Ornn ult, the low health Leona, the J4 Cataclysm ults right in, blows up the Silas. Then Ease to go invisible there, jumps on top of the Ezreal, kills off the Ezreal, dies to the Mundo, but by that point, her job was done. Addition playing exactly like an MVP of the series would so far, and if this game keeps up the way it is, that is my MVP, Bonfire.
Oh, you're ruining it. You're ruining it. Nah, that's probably mine as well. I don't think you could really make an argument for anyone else. I will say Doomsday Red doesn't feel like they're having anyone holding them back. Everyone on their side has played so incredibly well. If you look on the side of Team Flame, they've had some people who have played well individually, but they haven't found the cohesion like Adam and Meowdam or like PNB and Blue Ice Span have with these combinations. They haven't found it like Doomsday Red has.
Yeah, and I will say, because I know you're going to ask me this later, so I'm going to get it out of the way now, as we see Leona might get caught out here. No, able to back off. Team Flame here back against the wall. Oh. All right.
Do you guys want to see a dead body?
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my
I mean,
goodness.
that's
Playful
Fed
Zombie and Kirkle both getting locked up by the ultimate. Let's see how long it takes Addition to delete the enemy team. Banwaha trying to lock her up as much as he can. Kirkle's going to fall. Addition, Banwaha's going to fall as well. Addition's going to survive the entire thing. Yes, he is. Oh my goodness, Addition. I haven't liked math since middle school, but Addition's making me like it again. As Doomsday Red marches into the enemy base, they take the first Nexus turret as it's just Mundo trying to do what he can. He's tanky. He hasn't died yet this game. That might get the first time. It's taking a long time, but he would fall. Adam will take that kill. Chromian here to watch his team fall. Oh my goodness, Chromian, no, as he falls to a meaningless death. Addition just backed, but like backing to pick up the Phantom Dancer, as this series is gonna go as the way Doomsday Red 2-0.
Doomsday Red have some early mistakes, early blunders, bounce back beautifully, use their team fighting to a T here, locking down that Israel. There are not enough arcane shifts in the world to get Zombie out of those, or get away from that J4. And then Addition, listen, played a Jhin game very, very well, almost perfect last game, arguably. Playing from distance very well, DPSing from far away. This game on the Kai'Sa, masterfully placed ultimates on Kai'Sa to get into the heart of the team, and then in going invis to drive attention away from her and just blowing everybody up there. You saw in the last fight, a Warwick couldn't even kill her, ulting her. She still lived, ends this game with some crazy damage numbers, best damage on the team, and honestly my MVP for the series, as Doomsday Red comfortably 6-2.
Yeah, Doomsday Red found themselves in a difficult situation in game two. We talk about how early game went to the side of Team Flame, but late game by the end of it, I think you'd be hard pressed to not say that this one looked like Doomsday Red had this one in the bag the entire time. We talk about Addition time and time again, but to be honest, Addition keeps giving us things to talk about. Most damage in both games, topping the charts, so much damage, able to play two drastically different team comps. Got to be my MVP as well. Just played so incredibly well. I will say, underrated team player Meowdam setting up people with the ultimate, and Adam. This J4 was just keeping people locked down this entire game. Near the end of the game, able to lock up both carries at the same time is just incredible, especially when both Silas and Ezreal have so many outs naturally. So, got to give huge props to Adam and Meowdam for their stellar play as well.
100%. And now you have a Doomsday Red team sitting on 6-2, currently ahead of the pack. Obviously, if you look at the standings, there are three teams that were 5-2 coming into this match. Doomsday Red take the lead for first place, 6-2. Top three teams go to the postseason, being able to jump the other two teams, 5-2, almost guarantees you a ticket to playoffs. Doesn't guarantee you completely, but I don't see how the Doomsday Red might even drop another match in the regular season, and should be in the postseason, sitting comfortably on the side of Team Flame. You sit at 4-4 with 2 games to go. Might need some help to get into the playoffs. Got to win those last 2 series, but a valiant effort in this game too, especially the early game of the game too, nonetheless.
Yep, both teams needed this win. We talked about how Team Flame needed this win just to even get into the playoffs. But that first round bye is no joke. Doomsday Red able to snag themselves the win, catapult themselves into that first place position. They feel very confident going into playoffs, and with play from your mid laner and your ADC like that, I don't see why you can't be. Addition absolutely smurfing through these two games. Doomsday Red finds themselves at 6-2. Leo, or excuse me, Slayer, as we get out of this game, any closing thoughts you have about this series?
I mean, this is all about this really highlights how team composition can do wonders for you, especially this game too. You saw the early plays from Team Flame getting their 80 carry ahead with the play of Acronium on that Morgana. But when it came to mid game, you have a team composition that it sets itself up so well for success. Goal difference doesn't really matter that much. You start winning fights, turns the tide. So remember, it's all about team composition can really make or break some of these games and something you should definitely be looking for no matter what level of league you're watching.
Yep. Thank you, Slayer. That's Slayer's talk of the day. Well, thank you all for tuning in. This was a fantastic series between Doomsday Red, who 2-0'd Team Flame. Follow us on all of our social medias and be sure to tune in tomorrow when we've got more games throughout the entire week going into the playoffs. I've been Bonfire, he's Slayer. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful night.